welcome back to RCR Horsemanship. I'm Corey Furlong, and today I'm here with Alex and her horse Xenia. So I don't really know a whole lot of what's going on, except for that Alex called me up recently and said, hey, I'm having some trouble with my new horse in the round pen and lunging, and I need some help. I know a little bit of the background of this horse, that she came from an auction.
Yes.
And that her previous owner maybe didn't give her a lot of direction, was kind of a beginner maybe. And this is a young horse. She's 6 years old.
Yeah.
And
she was the alpha.
Okay, so she was kind of in control of her person a little bit, and that's become abundantly clear as you've worked with her. So tell me a little bit of what you've tried with round penning, what you're seeing.
So I've only had her in the round pen once,
okay.
And it was very clear to me that she doesn't have a clue what, I don't think she's ever been in a round pen.
Okay.
With all of my horses, I like when I ask them to stop, to turn and face me.
Yeah.
And I tried to get her to come around with her shoulder, and she just...
Nothing. Okay.
Trying to get her to move forward without actually like whipping her.
Yeah.
It's not possible. And
okay.
So
we want to find a way to get her going forward,
yeah.
and to get some consistency forward, get her turning and facing,
yes.
and hopefully in a way that is not going to be scary or traumatizing
yeah.
to her, because that's not fair. We don't want to do that either.
And she is very spicy, and she loves to throw her head.
Okay. Have you seen her kick or buck or anything?
Occasionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah,
so this could be fun, and we didn't warm her up at all.
No.
And so we're just gonna go through basically what I would do to evaluate a horse like this to help Alex get to the next steps, and then hopefully give you some tools in the future. And then so these are going to be kind of beginning steps, and then
thank you.
And then maybe we'll revisit after you've gotten some of these things solid.
Sure.
And every horse is different. Every horse needs different things. So this is going to be a pretty raw and real lesson of just what it really looks like for me to evaluate a horse and see what that individual needs, what works for the owner, what their goals are, because everybody's a little bit different. There's not a one size fits all. So we're going to get started. I'm going to have you get in the round pen and show me a little bit of what you have done, what her reactions are to you. That way I can help both you and her. And yeah, so let's get started.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and just start by asking her to move around.
Okay. That
way I can kind of see how you're communicating, what her responses are.
She's just very dense to me. Come on. There.
Yeah, so I see how she's looking out. She's not really engaged with you.
Not at all.
Yeah. Go ahead and just keep going.
Come on. Like, I don't want to constantly have to whip her.
Yeah. I totally understand that.
And she's not, she's not paying any attention to me. Come on. Like I said, I don't think she's ever been round penned, ever.
Mm-hmm. So once you get her moving a little bit, let's see if you can do a change of directions.
Okay. Come on, sweet girl.
That was a little better.
Good girl.
That's not bad.
Good
Very
girl.
nice.
Go on. Go on. Go on. Come on. Go on. Walk on. Come on. Come on. See, this is what I mean.
No,
She's
keep
just
going. That's
dense.
okay. That's okay. This is exactly what I need to see.
Just does not move.
Yeah.
Dense, feet planted.
Yeah. Keep going and see what you can do.
Go on. Xenia, move. Come on.
All right, that's good.
See, this is where I'm struggling.
Nope, this is totally good. This is exactly why I want to see these things.
Yeah, I need help.
The first thing that I saw when you sent her off is that you were moving. Whoa, that is a steep drop.
I'm moving too much.
Here, let me get in here first. So the first thing that I noticed is that you were moving your feet backwards as you sent her off. And so
okay.
that's one thing that we want to get consistent with.
Okay.
And then I'm also noticing that as you're asking her to go, you stay consistent with your feet, but you kind of drop your energy. And so I want to see if we can work on your driving energy. I'll try to plant some seeds with her.
Okay.
And then we'll work on your driving energy and your consistency to try to help build her consistency.
Okay.
So the more consistent you are, the more consistent she'll get.
Totally.
But it's totally understandable if you have to continue to follow through. That's okay. She'll get better over time.
Sure.
So you do a good job with your follow through when it comes to moving her around. I feel like when she stops moving, you don't really know where to go with that.
Yeah,
and so you kind of like ask, and then you're like,
I don't
what's
wanna
happening? Yeah. And you
I don't want to be abusive.
Yeah, of course.
I just wish she would move.
So one thing that you mentioned right away is that you don't want to be abusive.
Yeah.
And the thing is, even with Liberty work, we need to have boundaries, right? It's important just for our safety, and boundaries and expectations to some extent are okay. Like they're good, they're healthy, but it's all about how we approach it. And what I consider to be abusive is obviously excessive use of pressure, but also the pressure that doesn't make sense. Right?
Yeah.
So it's okay if you need to follow through with something, especially with a horse that's being a little bit dull. It's okay to follow through as long as you're releasing when they do the right thing and that it's not confusing, right? That's when it becomes abusive, is when you're beating on an animal and they don't get a release, they don't get that understanding of what that pressure means. So when you were first sending her off, right, she was in here with you, and you didn't really know where to put your whip or your body, and you're kind of like, I need space between us.
Yes.
So you're trying to create that space by backing up. And what I would want to do is find a consistent spot that I'm going to tap. And this is the thing, is people get really worked up on like the perfect spot. There are spots that are more effective to tap, and there's spots that are less effective. But the least effective thing is to change it up mid-try.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So find a spot that you're comfortable, move into that, and tap. Even if you're saying, I'm super close, I don't know what to do, take the butt of this whip and just kind of tap at that shoulder until you get something.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then if you feel like, okay, that I got something, I can pause, I'm gonna try again with a new method, that's okay. But follow through in that moment. It's gonna help her understand that you really know what you're doing, you mean what you say. So I'm gonna see if I can get her moving here. So with the whip, this can look mean. Think about how horses move each other, right? I gave a click, I gave some energy, and then I gave her a tap, right? I practice with my whip all the time to have target practice. I'll practice on the wall of a building, so that if I need to hit that shoulder, I can hit that shoulder and say, that shoulder needs to go. Good girl.
Got it.
Right? I'm not sitting here cracking a whip so hard that it's abusive, that it hurts, right? I'm using it as this tap in a particular spot, wherever I need it, to say, hey, I mean what I say. I'd like you to move. And then I'm keeping this whip consistent in front of me. Good. I'm not letting it get down here. I'm not dropping my shoulders. I have good driving energy, confident with that whip towards her. If I want her to trot here, I'm gonna give her warning. Good girl, move out, good girl.
So what about with her avoiding that half of the round pen? Are
We
not
will
worried
work
about
on that
right
once I have some consistency.
Okay.
So usually that is a desire to be, she's sucking towards the gate, she wants to leave.
Okay.
Right? It could be that her friends, go, good girl. Could be that her friends are over here, that she doesn't like something over here, something scary. What I'll eventually do is I'll have less driving pressure over here and more driving pressure over here. So I'm making it more desirable to move that direction. Pushing her over there will make her kind of confirm that that's a scary place to be. So I'm using my whip right now as a barrier, saying, hey, don't come into me, but I'm not like forcing her out.
Yeah.
Right now, I just want some consistent forward.
Yeah.
Say, hey, I don't want you to come into me.
That one day I put her in the round pen, she kept coming into
Good
me.
girl.
And I was struggling to get her away.
Nope, no ma'am, no ma'am. That crack that you heard wasn't it touching her. It's that.
That's nice.
So it creates that energy. Whoop. Good girl. It's creating that energy, but it's not snapping on her. It's not hurting her.
Okay.
If it were hurting her, you'd know.
Yeah.
So I'm watching that shoulder there. So if I'm just trying to get her forward, you know, I know that you know the drive line or the different driving points of the horse, right?
Yep.
If I want her to go forward, I'm thinking of driving that armpit forward. But if I notice that she's coming in, that means the shoulder needs to move out, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm stepping my body slightly in front, right about here. And look at that. That shoulder stayed out, she stayed further out.
Yeah. She's getting more consistent with moving too.
Yep. Good. Shoulder, shoulder. Good. Now, I'm trying to get just the idea of I can drive her around to start with. And then later on, we're gonna work on body control, where we're gonna teach her to move her hips, to move her shoulder, to move the rib cage, get lateral work. But it's gonna be really hard to get that if she doesn't know that she has to move when I ask her to.
Yeah.
So then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to change directions. And I like to just sweep in front, step in front of that drive line and say, hey, we gotta move. Shoulder, shoulder, shoulder,
now
shoulder,
with this,
shoulder.
I don't
Good
like
girl.
my horse's butts being in my face. I like them turning to face me. So
We'll get there right now.
okay.
I don't care.
Okay, okay.
Because I just need to be able to move the horse.
Yeah, okay.
I can't even move the horse.
Yeah.
So asking her to come into me or do anything in particular, she has no idea where any of her body is.
Gotcha.
Right?
I'm trying to get
all
ahead
of
the game.
those things will come.
Yeah.
But to start with, I just need to be able to move her body. There, that was better. Good. Much better. And she's finding an element of relaxation in being consistent. Right, I'm not bugging her if she's moving. That's got to feel pretty good to her.
Yeah.
Good.
I know she loves to trot and prance.
There you go. Good
It's like her
girl.
favorite gait.
Let's go ahead and change direction. But you know, when you went to change directions, how she just quit,
Yeah.
right? If I try to move her in towards me and do all this stuff, she's gonna do that same quit. It doesn't matter,
Okay.
right? Once I have good movement and I have some body control, then I can start to say, okay, now we're gonna work on getting her to face in. Because I agree with you, I don't want a horse to turn away and then feel like their butt's towards me and they're gonna
Yeah.
kick me.
Especially a horse I don't know very well yet.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to kick me. She's never offered to, but I don't know.
Good girl. Good. I also keep my whip in my dominant hand
Okay.
because I can be much more pointed with my dominant hand and make sure that that hits the spot intentionally,
Makes sense.
not randomly. And in my hand that isn't dominant, I have a really hard time touching that horse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Good. And just so you're aware, you're probably gonna notice that I'm doing a lot of direction changes on that end of the round pen, purely for the camera.
Okay.
So for your sake, and for anybody who's watching, I would wanna change up where I'm doing my direction changes, and I will do that off camera. When we take a little break from filming to just do stuff, I will change that up, but I wanna make sure that our audience can also see what that direction change looks like.
Gotcha.
Good, that's already getting more consistent.
Yeah, it is.
We'll see if I can get another direction change. Think. Good girl, there. Good. So notice when she gave me that try, I kind of backed off. Good, there you go. Don't quit on me, babe, you're doing great. Come on, good.
She loves to throw that head.
Get all the way around and I'll give you a break. Good. Beautiful.
So that's what I mean, how she just stops there instead of turning.
Yeah, so
But at least she's got her head on you right now.
Yeah, so again, at this stage, I'm not too worried. Like we would go through those Liberty steps.
Yeah.
At the very least to catching the eye and drawing her in. If you didn't want to do Liberty circles, and you don't necessarily have to go any further, but having those basics of the round pen work is really valuable.
Yeah.
Right now, she's a little bit disengaged from the work. She finds it to be pretty difficult mentally, right? She hasn't had to engage and look at a person and look for direction, right?
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that she might look to the outside a little bit and be like, I don't really want to do this. But the further we go with it, the more confidence she's going to build in this. And then the more she's going to start looking at you and saying, actually, it's really nice to not feel responsible for all of the stuff that's going on around me and where I have to move and where I'm, where's my herd and what's going on, right? Mm-hmm. Horses don't want to be responsible for that. So right now, feels like a lot of work, but pretty soon it's going to be like, whew, I don't have to be responsible for this. That's nice.
Yeah.
And that's where we want to get. Hi, cutie. Hey. I wasn't being too mean, right? Whip control. We don't, like you said, we don't want to be abusive.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to be able to use this as that extension of my arm to make contact with my horse as needed. And I want that contact to be at a pinpoint spot. Yeah. If I need to move the shoulder, I want to be able to touch the shoulder. Yeah. If I need to move the rib cage, I want to be able to touch the rib cage. If I need to move them forward, I want to be able to touch their butt, right? If I want to move the hip even, I might touch their butt. So a couple things that I try really hard not to do. One is I don't like spinning the whip, right? Spinning the whip and coming down. I try to avoid that as much as possible, mainly because when the whip gets up here, first of all, with my horses, with my horses, whip up means stop.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So for me, I don't want the whip to come up unless I mean stop, but also all this energy comes out of nowhere to that horse.
Right.
Right? It's up in the ether and then all of a sudden it hits him. Yeah. And that's not really fair.
No.
Right? No. So all of my movement is going to be forward and back. The other thing about doing forward and back is that it can be consistent, right? The beat is consistent. So horses are very rhythmic, right? I always go back to thoroughbreds on the racetrack that when they're kind of doing a lope through, right? Not necessarily when they're running full out sometimes, but when you just hear them on the track and they go, right? They're rhythmic animals.
Yes, they are.
The more rhythmic we can be, the more we're going to make sense. Right? It helps us be consistent with our ask. It helps us be consistent in our release. And it helps them get in rhythm and say, okay, I see what's going on.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing this, I'm going to be calm, quiet. I'm not getting upset. I don't want this whip to ever be something that I'm sitting here with angst. I got to get him, right?
No.
I don't want to feel that. No. I'm going to be calm. I'm not offended by anything my horse does. I'm just trying to work with them. And I think of the whip as like, I'm just trying to kind of feather it that direction and just kind of touch, right? I want to go and I want to touch the barn. I don't want to hit the barn, right? I want to just touch it. Just want to touch it. There we go. That would be my ideal, that little tap.
Yeah.
That's perfect to me. I want to be able to touch where I want to touch. So if I want to touch a little higher, I can touch a little higher. If I want to touch low, I can touch low. But the biggest thing is this feathery, floaty touch, right? I don't care if the whip makes a sound. I don't care if it cracks. The more you do it, the more you're going to feel where that point is to make a little noise. But I don't really care. It doesn't need to be this big, cracking sound. Yeah. I just want to feather. So why don't you start this direction? You're lefty, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to get out of your way, but I want you to just think about feathering and just tapping. Good. I want you to be consistent, but don't expect the immediate reaction. It's okay that she's not perfect. She doesn't just move right off, right? Ask her nicely, be confident, be consistent, follow through if needed, but try not to change up what you're doing or anything. Just stay consistent and give it a shot. So let's go ahead and you pick the direction you want to start her. Good. Now hold the tip of that whip up just a little bit to show your intention. Good. And be careful to not get too far in front of her. Very nice. So do you see how your feet stutter?
Yep.
Right? When she stops, you stop. So make sure that
moving.
you're controlling her feet, she's not controlling yours.
Okay.
So if she goes to stop, all you got to do is just tap, tap, and keep going.
Okay.
Now make sure if you go to use your whip, give her a warning with a click.
Okay. She's doing so much better already.
That's so much better.
Yeah. She's getting the concept. I said I don't think she's ever been round petted before.
Yeah, this is much better than it was. Good, and see, you were much more pointed with that. You wanted that shoulder to move, so you were able to flick that whip at the shoulder. You didn't have to make contact, and you got a reaction. Because you're doing it with intention.
Yeah. Should I switch direction?
Yep, so sweep in front, step in front of that shoulder, and flick the whip towards the shoulder. Very nice. See, and you didn't have to make contact.
No, not at all.
Your intention was there, it was very clear. Good, correction. Good. Very nice, and hold. Good.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Amazing. I felt her energy drop.
Yeah. Well, and when you're consistent, you can feel that so much more. You can see all those tiny little details so much better. And you can see what's her fault and what's your fault.
Totally.
Right? If you feel yourself stutter with your feet, then you're like, oh crap, that was on me.
Yeah.
That's why she reacted. But if you're being consistent, then you can see, oh, she lost it.
Yeah.
And I just need to support her and move her along.
So what about gait transitions, like getting her to go?
Yeah,
into a
so those
canter?
are all things that we'll refine when we have better body control.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and change directions. Much better. Very nice. Good.
Yeah.
And then let's just give her a little break because she's being really nice. So all we're going to do is just stop, kind of back off. I don't really care if, if we're getting her to turn in or anything like that. We just want to give her a little break.
Yeah.
So I think what we're finding is that a lot of that is going to be your consistency because you do feed off of her just a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? She doesn't know what to do. And then you go, I don't either.
Yeah.
But you actually do. You know how to drive a horse around. It's just getting a horse that doesn't know what she's doing to respond.
Yeah.
And the horses that you've had historically have been a little bit more sensitive because you've started them a little younger.
True.
Right? A lot of the horses that you've had them from being young babies. Or they've already known what to do.
Yeah.
So because they've been more of a clean slate, that's been helpful to you.
Very much.
Okay, let's do just one more start, couple direction changes.
Okay.
And just make sure that we feel really solid on that. Good.
Walk
Stay
on.
consistent.
Walk on. Good.
Good.
One.
Very nice.
Good girl.
And if you just do about a lap or so, and then find a good spot where you think you can change directions. Beautiful. I love how you're feathering that whip now.
Thank you.
That's a really good change. Shout out to Double Dan for having the best whips on the market.
I need one.
Good.
Yeah, and I barely have to touch her now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not. Except that one time.
Yep. And it's because you actually have intention behind it. She knows that you can follow through, but she's learned it's just better if you don't have to. Let's go ahead and pause. Good.
Good
That was
girl.
good to wait until she was also moving off nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really good. So
chewing.
for a general session with a horse that struggles with this is about where I would quit in the round pen for now.
Sure.
I know that you get really excited that you want to have all the little pieces
No, we
and
can end on a good note.
but this is a huge change from the horse you started with.
Oh yeah.
So this is really cool.
This is awesome.
Yeah, really nice work.
She likes me.
So I just want to do a quick recap on what we learned and all that stuff. So what we were really focusing on today was just getting more consistency, right? Getting her movement consistent, getting your movement consistent, making sure that your whip placement was good, that your timing is good. And so that's what we're going to focus on. You did mention a few times wanting to, you know, have speed control and all that stuff and a bit more body control. And we're going to work on that. We're going to get there. I think we'll probably revisit here in a couple weeks. But do you have any questions of what we worked on today? Any?
No, I don't have any questions at the moment.
Okay.
I'm actually feeling pretty good right now.
Good. I'm glad.
I love how much we've progressed. 'Cause
Yeah.
already it's a night and day difference from
Yeah.
when I first started in there. She didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't get her to move
Yeah.
anything.
And one thing that we talked about a little bit was really appreciating those little wins.
Yes.
That it's not an event, it's a process.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Don't
and
ask
so
for perfection.
yeah, we don't need perfection right away. It takes time. And I'm really glad that you enjoyed our lesson, that we made some progress, and I'm excited for the next one and seeing just how you guys progress together as a team. So thank you all for watching so much. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, to all of our social media, and we'll see you in the next one.